Hello gamers and welcome to ER Game Reviews. This is episode 7. Today's show we talk about the Xperia Play and we also discuss the PSN hack. But let's start this off with the exciting news and talk about the Xperia Play. It was actually dated and priced this week. The release date for this is going to be May 26th with the price tag of $199. Just a quick spec breakdown on the Xperia Play. It's going to be running Android 2.3, aka Gingerbread. It's going to come with a 1 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon II processor, Adreno 205 GPU, 512 of RAM, 4-inch screen, 5 megapixel rear-facing camera, VGA front-facing camera. It's going to come preloaded with a couple of games, Madden NFL 11, Crash Bandicoot, Bruce Lee, Asphalt 6, Adrenaline, The Sims 3, Star Battalion, and Tetris. Additionally, you can download more games via the Android market. So V, your thoughts on the Xperia Play?
It sounds like an okay system, but when you compare it to everything else out there, it's more for beginners who don't expect a lot. Little kids, young preteens. Here, have this system, play a little Bandicoot game or something. You know, it's not competitive enough in my eyes.
It really, it kind of pains me to say this, reminds me of the New York Mets, honestly.
Ouch.
I'm a Mets fan, I've been crying for years. When you look at it on paper, you see phone, game system, first certified PlayStation phone, you think, oh, awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
But when game time comes around, it doesn't really hold its weight. And the problem with this really is the specs. It doesn't have the specs to put it up there with the top tier smartphones, and it doesn't have the specs to make it a top gaming system. So what you end up getting in this case is a device that tries to deliver two experiences and really doesn't succeed in giving you both very well. So also another problem with this is there aren't a lot of games out there right now that are optimized for the control scheme that comes along with the Xperia Play. So you're kind of limited there. I mean, really, nobody is going to buy this in lieu of a NGP that's going to be coming out, a PSP, or a 3DS. It's not going to give you that kind of gaming experience, and also the specs, it's not going to give you the same experience as an iPhone or a Thunderbolt. So
Which are priced about the same?
I mean, their price is a little bit more, but I mean, you can get you a better Android phone, a much better Android phone for the same price as an Xperia Play, and you're going to have access to your Android games anyways, unless you get an iPhone, which you're going to get a ridiculous amount of apps anyway. So
My daughter has that. Yeah, ridiculous amount.
So as far as the Xperia Play, I say skip it.
And I say if you're younger and you want to start off on something, go for it. But otherwise, yeah, skip it.
How young are we talking? Your kid has an iPhone.
She's 13 though. I'm talking like a 10-year-old for their first phone. They don't need a lot. Well, I don't know. A lot of
They don't need a lot.
Start younger.
They don't need a lot. You can buy an iPhone 3 for $49.
Oh yeah, there you go.
See?
All right, so skip it.
Skip it.
Okay, on to the PSN news. Finally, after over a month, they are back online. It's crazy. Crazy.
Understatement of the year.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people don't even know why they actually went down, or very limited news release were, a lot out there. But they got hacked by the group Anonymous on May 14th. And, it just, you're asked to update your firmware and change your password when you get on. Sure, there are plenty of disappointed PSN users. Couldn't play COD and other games that specifically required the network. I think it's one of the biggest letdowns of the whole crash.
Because no one plays a Call of Duty campaign. You play it once and then that's it. Who plays that?
Exactly. You need to go online. You need to go and play against other users. It's just one of those games that you have to have other users and a network to do it. PS3s, all those users were just off in the wind, just left hanging. Not even told why everything went down the way it went down. Oh, they're having system errors and system problems, and oh, they're going to be back up. And they said that, 3 times they gave dates for being back up, and they finally hit it.
And even now, it's still not fully back up. They haven't even allowed Asia to get back online, and that leads me to think of some questions.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, if everything is fixed as they say, then how come everyone isn't online? Raises an eyebrow, if you ask me.
It took a while for us to get online. And you think about it, I think they started off in Europe, and the UK got them online first, and then it was a transition period. Like any system, it has to go slowly through the backup. I don't know.
Well, here basically what happened. This hack caused them to have to rebuild their network security from the bottom up, and that's inexcusable, if you ask me.
It shouldn't have happened.
It definitely shouldn't have happened.
That being such a freaking big network, user worldwide, that they should not have been able to be hacked. I mean, okay, and then the compensation that they're giving their users. Oh, you can choose 2 games out of 6 choices. Let's see, Dead Nation, Infamous, Little Big Planet, Super Stardust HD for US gamers. Let's see. You got free identity theft for the UK. What is? I mean, it's ridiculous. You don't even get good games to choose from. Seriously?
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the classic bad boyfriend. Okay, the guy who cheats on his girlfriend, and to make it up for her, he gets her flowers.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, Sony, you're a multi-million-dollar company. This isn't good enough. Okay, up until this hack came along, I was considering buying a PS3. But after hearing this, the fact that Sony tried to, as much as they could, not to mention anything why their users were down and give just kind of vague explanations, even if you don't know why something's happened, you owe it to your customers to tell them this happened. Hey, some of your vital information was stolen. We dropped the ball. You can't just say, oh, my bad. Here's some free stuff.
Right.
Not good enough.
60 days premium user network for
Yeah,
free
and
subscription.
here's another thing. I mean, this didn't just affect gamers. I mean, gamers obviously it affected a lot more worse than companies out there. But you got to think game developers. Call of Duty, perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
We know that there's a campaign, yes, but you play it once and that's about it. How much revenue are these companies losing with these online games? Also, you got to think about parents in this scenario. There's a lot of kids out there that are going to need their parents' information to get on here. And that information was taken. Sony, you just got to do better. There's just absolutely no excuse for a company of this size and for something that affects this many people for this to be handled this way. You owe your customers a lot more than 2 free games. And what was the other thing? I think it was 60 days of the premium service. Come on, you can do better than that, Sony.
Wow.
Seriously.
Yeah. They were down for over a month.
Again, they're still not fully back up. If everything is fixed as you say, Sony, how come Asia's not back online yet?
And it was hell to get back online. Let me tell you, my boyfriend didn't have the easiest time getting on there. It asked him for all this other stuff, and it was like, really? More information? And why does the UK and Britain get more free special stuff? I mean, they get 1 year free identity theft service, but the US people don't get that, or North America, or any other continent. Why is it that that specific group of people? Maybe it's because they're the ones that lost more info. Who knows? I mean, we weren't given all the information, but.
Well, and here's another thing. The only thing that I've seen them issue as far as any preventative measures to avoid your information from further getting stolen, because if you've been paying attention to news, you know they got hacked again on Friday. The only thing that it said is change your password.
Yep.
Okay. Well, what are you doing on your end to help prevent this? So, as far as I'm concerned, as far as me getting a PS3, I'm just crossing it out. I'll just wait until.
To get their issues resolved? If that
No,
ever
I'm
happens?
not. No,
Wow.
I'm just gonna. At this point, we know Nintendo's coming out with a new system next year,
Oh, yeah,
which
yeah.
means that the other companies out there are probably gonna follow suit. So, You got to expect within, probably before the year is over, probably before the end of the summer, we're going to hear that either Sony or Xbox is in development of their next one. So I might just skip the PS3 altogether.
Just wait.
Just wait and then get the new Xbox, because if this is the way Sony handles, you know, theft of customer information, then I want no part of it.
I mean, it was take straight credit card numbers taken off their system. I mean, that's just, wow. That was deep. Personal information. Where's the encryption? Where's the firewalls? Where's your security? Seriously, come on. Where are they dumping all their money? Because they dumped it into that? No, they did not.
Yeah, well, it's just like my friend who said to me, you know, PSN is so much better than Xbox Live, and you don't have to pay. It reminds me of something my dad always told me. He's like, when things in life are free, there's a reason why.
And this is why.
But I think that wraps it up for us here at EUR Game Reviews. Don't forget, we want you to comment and subscribe on YouTube. You can always follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And of course, we love emails. Do you remember the email address this time?
EURGameReviews@gmail.com.
Very good. Gold star for
Yay.
you. But this is Clarence.
Veronica.
Peace.